Greetings, everybody. Welcome. Greetings, everybody. Welcome. As you come on in the room, please tap the screen, like, comment, and share. Welcome, everybody. As you come in the room, tap the screen, share. Support us by sharing this live, everybody. Tap the screen and share this live to at least 3 people. Do us that favor. Welcome to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement for our live virtual session today. Welcome. Welcome. Are you thankful today? Are you moving in the frequency of gratitude? As you come in, let us know where you're watching from. Please like, comment, and share. Repost this. Tap the screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings, everybody. Welcome. All of those that are on YouTube and TikTok, welcome. Yes, we are happy and excited for one more day. Come on, begin to wave your hand and tell them thank you. Somebody wave your hand and say thank you. Oh, yes. We are grateful to the divine for one more day. Welcome, 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 each and every one. We hope that you're having an awesome day so far. You've made it to Thursday. Isn't that wonderful? You've made it to Thursday, almost at the end of the week. And so we're excited and we're grateful. And so we welcome you into this sacred and safe space. So peace, love, and light and divine power to all of our friends and family and community members and those who are joining us maybe for the first time. Welcome to another powerful live stream session brought to you by the Soul Awakening Sanctuary. And I am yours truly, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael. And today we're diving in deeper. We're going to be talking and diving into a sacred body of wisdom that predates all modern religions. As you come in, please tap the screen and share. For whatever reason, for TikTok, when we get on and we start opening up our topic, a restriction comes up. Anytime we start talking about spiritual stuff, a restriction comes up and it says that our live is not eligible for recommendation because for fake engagement. So help us reset the algorithm by sharing the live, by tapping the screen. We appreciate all that you do to help us. And so thank you so very much. Tap the screen. We appreciate all that you do. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, we are tapping into today into a sacred body of knowledge that predates all modern religions. The 42 laws of Ma'at. And we began talking about this yesterday, but today we're going to dig in a little bit deeper. We talked a little we generalized our topic yesterday about the 42 laws of Ma'at, also known as the 42 negative confessions, also known as the 42 declarations of innocence. And so today, and we also talked about yesterday on our live about how the 10 Commandments was taken out of the 42 laws, rebranded and repackaged and given to the world. But and stripped of the divine feminine, stripped of African ancestry. And so we talked about that yesterday. If you missed the live, you can go to YouTube and you can always, if you missed our live stream or didn't catch it all, you always can go to YouTube at Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael and follow us there and be able to catch up on all of our live stream, our spiritual conscious teachings and revelations. You can go there and be enlightened. So greetings, everyone. Greetings, Sunny Applebaum. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hope everyone is doing well. Greetings, 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 everyone. We're so happy to have you. And as you come in, please tap the screen, press those hearts, share, like, comment, repost, tag a neighbor, tag a friend. Help us reset the algorithm because for whatever reason, as soon as I start talking about spirituality on the live, restrictions pops up. So, but we are going to continue to stay steadfast in teaching this truth of spiritual awakening and consciousness and to be a light to our people, to show them the way that they can walk away from colonization and shift their mindset and return to the ancestral wisdom and power. I am here only to remind you, to be a prophetic voice, to remind you to come back home to yourself. Come back to your ancestral wisdom. Come back to your own divine power that is within you. To encourage you to reclaim your truth, and your power, and your divinity. Reclaim the wisdom that was hidden from you. To help you get your mind back that was stolen from you. To take it back and begin to walk in your own power, the way you were created to. So today, again, we're going deeper into the 42 laws of Ma'at. Now, these aren't just rules, laws, regulations, or commandments. They are spiritual principles that govern the lives of our ancestors in Kemet, also known as ancient Egypt, and all along the Nile River Valley in Africa. Long before the Bible, long before the Torah or the Quran were even conceived. These 42 laws and divine principles we're talking about today predated, again, the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran. Before those books were ever conceived in the mind of the many myriad of authors, these 42 laws, these divine code was already practiced by our divine ancestors. So if our ancestors, long before colonization, practiced these laws and it brought unity, it brought interconnectedness, it brought harmony, it brought balance. So if it did all that for them, we need to retrace our steps and go back and learn what worked for our people. Because a lot of people that are stuck in religious dogma, indoctrination, and colonized, organized religion, if we be honest with ourselves, it has not worked for our people. Collectively, it has not worked. And so we as a people need to get together and go back to the drawing board and say, this is not working for us. It's not bringing us liberation. So we need to find out what liberated and helped our ancestors be successful societies long before a conqueror came into play. So again, our topic today is the 42 laws of Ma'at, ancient divine laws that will transform your mind, your spirit, and your life. Now, Ma'at is not a religion. This is something to be clear on. Ma'at is not a religion. These divine principles called Ma'at is a cosmic order. It is divine balance. It is a spiritual frequency. So when you live in Ma'at, that means you are aligned with truth, with justice, with mercy, with reciprocity, with harmony, and divine law. So when you say you live in Ma'at, you follow Ma'at, that Ma'at is your governing divine compass, you're saying that you are aligned with truth, justice, mercy, harmony, reciprocity, and divine law. And we as a people, beloved, as a collective whole, have to step back into alignment, because what has happened to us over the centuries, we have been brought out of alignment. And we've been brought away and led astray from our connection that we've had with the divine, the creator, with each other, and with our ancestral power and wisdom. So we have to step back into alignment. We have to, in order for us to progress and really move forward, we have to reclaim our power. We have to reclaim our purpose. We have to reclaim our divine authority. So this morning, our virtual session together is not just a history lesson. It's a spiritual activation. That's what our time together today is all about. Not a history lesson, but a spiritual activation. Today, we're going to walk through each of the 42 laws, also called negative confessions, also called declarations of innocence. And we're going to break each one of them down for our modern walk. How can we apply these spiritual principles to our life to bring about liberation in our mind, in our spirit, in our soul, and in our physical bodies, out into the world around us? How can we use these divine spiritual principles to bring about balance in our life, in harmony in our relationships, in our families, and into the world? If you've been asking, how do I do it? Well, this is how you shift your mindset, elevate your consciousness, and live in harmony with the universe. So I encourage you, grab your notebooks today. Grab your journals, grab your notebooks, grab a pen, get comfortable, get grounded, and let us begin this journey today together. Again, welcome everybody. As you're tuning in, please share the live. Help us reset the algorithm. Share the live. Tag a neighbor, tag a friend. Repost, reshare, comment, tap the screen, press those hearts. Thank you so very much. So let me begin by saying this. These laws, the 42 laws of Ma'at, were spoken as affirmations. They were not spoken, they were not rules forced upon people, but they were declarations made by those who lived with integrity, those that lived by accountability, and those that lived in alignment. Those were the people who affirmed these divine principles as affirmations and declarations, not as rules forced upon them to live by. These divine principles, the 42 laws of Ma'at, they were affirmed and they were recited by the soul before entering into the afterlife. Before facing the scales of justice in the hall of Ma'at, where the heart was weighed with the feather of truth. But let me ask you something today. I want you to think about this. Let me ask you. What of these 42 laws of Ma'at, these principles, divine principles of truth, were not just for the afterlife, but for this life right now? Not just to gain interest into the afterlife. What if it's to help you live to your fullest capacity today? What if living these 42 laws brought us back to divine alignment? Brought us back into divine alignment, ancestral connection, and inner power right now. Think about it. So let's begin. Number one, the first law. I have not committed sin against myself, against my community, or against the universe. I have not committed sin against myself, against my community, or against the universe. So let's reframe this. Let's reframe the affirmation. And let's say it like this to apply it to us every day as an affirmation. I live in alignment. I do not operate outside of divine law. Sin is not about breaking man-made rules. Remember that. Sin is not about breaking man-made rules. It's about falling out of harmony with your divine self. That is what sin truly is. Not what the church teaches sin is, which is man-made rules and breaking their traditions. But sin in a metaphysical understanding, from an African spiritual understanding, is when you fall out of alignment and harmony with your divine self. So make sure that you're in alignment with yourself. That you've not sinned against yourself, meaning fall out of alignment with your divine self, with who you truly are. Every day, are you living authentically true to who you truly are at your core, at your essence? Are you living your truth and standing in your truth unequivocally, with certainty, not ashamed? Think about that. Now I want you to affirm with me. Each law that we go through, I'm going to give you an affirmation to help reprogram your consciousness. So I want you to say with me, I live in truth, not transgression. Come on, say that with me. I live in truth, not transgression. I live in truth, not transgression. Amen and Ashe. The second law of Ma'at, we got 42. The second one is I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not committed robbery with violence. This law speaks to taking by force. So I ask you this question. Do you move through life with integrity or domination? Think about it. Do you move through life with integrity or domination? This is the meaning of the second law of the 42 laws of Ma'at. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not committed robbery with violence. Are you taking things by force? Are you forcing relationships? Are you forcing friendships? Are you forcing things to happen? Instead of moving with the divine ebb and flow of life, the law, the universal law of rhythm. Do you move through life with integrity, with honor, with dignity, or domination? Are you always trying to be in control? Are you always trying to monopolize on something? Are you always looking out for your own interests and not others? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. So let me give an affirmation for law number 2. Repeat after me. I honor divine exchange. I honor divine exchange. I honor divine exchange. I give and receive in truth. I give and receive in truth. Let's say that again. I honor divine exchange. I give and receive in truth. Amen and Ashe. Number 3, the third law in the 42 laws of Ma'at. I have not stolen. I have not stolen. I have not stolen. Now let's think about this law. Beyond physical theft, have you stolen time? Have you stolen energy? Have you stolen ideas? Have you stolen joy? Think about it. A lot of people say, well, I don't steal. I haven't stolen. Well, you may have not stolen or steal in a physical sense, but have you stolen time? You know, you got some people that steal time on the job. And because they don't walk ethically and live ethically, that's why they lose a job. Why? Because they're stealing time. You're paid a certain amount of hours to do certain things. Do it. This is what living within the laws of Ma'at means. Greetings, Marco Universe. It's so good to see you. Hope you're doing well, dear. Love you so much. So this is all about living with integrity. Sometimes you can't even trust people's word because they do not live in integrity. Nothing they say, they are not a credible witness. Why? Because their life is not in integrity. So have you stolen time? Have you stolen energy? How many people energy you steal in cipher? Do you know there are people that are like vampires? They steal your energy, they steal your vibe, they steal your joy. If you ain't careful, they'll try to steal your dreams and your goals in your life. So is that you? Are you stealing someone's joy? Instead of rejoicing with those that rejoice, are you trying to rain on people's parade all the time? And look at say, misery love company. So are we supportive to people when it's their time of rejoicing in their victories and their triumphs? Or are we always being negative Nancy's? Are you just wasting people's time? Know that you don't have no intentions of building any long-lasting relationship. But because you don't want to be in a cold bed at night, you lie and you speak false truths, half truths, all because all you're doing is stealing someone's time, wasting their time and their energy, knowing that you don't mean them any good. Are you a joy killer? See, this is how you break down this law of number 3, the third law of the 42 laws of my I have not stolen. Not just talking about death physically, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Are you harming people emotionally? Are you robbing people of their emotional intelligence, their emotional safety? Think about it. So let me give you affirmation for this third principle. And repeat after me. I walk in abundance. I walk in abundance. I walk in abundance. I have no need to take what is not mine. Come on, let's say that again. I walk in abundance. I have no need to take what is not mine. Amen and Ashe. I think we should say that one more time. Come on, let's affirm that together. I walk in abundance. I walk in abundance. You got to believe that. I walk in abundance. I have no need, because I walk in abundance, I have no need to take what is not mine. Amen and Ashe. Now, what if we live from that understanding? That all that I need is provided. That I walk in abundance. Everything that I ever can think, need, want, desire is provided for me. I speak it into existence. I create the reality. My thoughts and my words create it. I don't need to take what does not belong to me, because all that I need, the universe provides. Just that next song I used to like when they used to sing, all I have needed, thy hands has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto thee. The universe, the creator, the source, the infinite source of all things, spirit, energy, is faithful to those who live in alignment with their true self, with their higher self. That live in alignment with harmony, balance, truth, justice, reciprocity. That live in alignment with the 42 laws of mind. This is how you elevate your life. Not by stepping on people. We used to have a saying, the elders used to have a saying growing up where I came from. They said, be careful how you treat your people. Be careful how you treat people on your way up. Because you're going to need those same people. You're going to meet those same people and you're going to need them on your way down. Or like my Abba, my father, of blessed memory, he used to say, be careful how you treat people. Because you don't know who you're going to need in your last hour. Who you going to need to wipe your behind when you can't take care of yourself? Who's going to give you your last drink of water? You don't know where life you're going to land up before you leave this world. And you may need the very person you have mistreated, you have ostracized, you have dogged out, that you have scandalized. You may need that very same person. But when your mind is one-sided, one track, only thinking about you and what benefits you and your life and not how it impacts everybody else around you, when you find yourself in difficult spots, you have no one to come to your aid. This is why people, a lot of parents, when they get older, they wonder why their children don't have nothing to do with them. They just stick them in a nursing home. They don't look after them. They don't visit them. Why? It's because however you treat a child when they are vulnerable and need you most, when they're dependent upon you, That's how they're going to treat you when they don't need you no more. If you treated them like they were a bother, they were a nuisance, like you regret giving birth to them, all of these things. If you're very harsh and mean and cruel to them, guess what? Children never forget. They never forget. And when they get older, they're going to pay you back. Simple as that. A lot of time, people even in business, they're cruel in business. But when things happen, guess what? Everybody rejoiced over the calamity. Why? Because they were ruthless. They didn't mind stepping on somebody to get ahead. Rather, it was sleeping their way to the top. Rather, it was throwing everybody under the bus so they could get to the top. Whatever they needed, they did it so they could make it to the top. But not knowing that once you get to the top, if you stepped on everybody to get there, who's going to be there to support you? And what's going to happen when everything hits the fan? This is what people don't think about. But when you live in alignment, thank you for sharing. Everybody, as you come in the room, please share the live, tap the screen, especially on TikTok, because we need to reset the algorithm, because every time we get on, start teaching about these spiritual truths, they put our live on restrictions, so it's not recommended on FYP. So help us reset the algorithm by sharing, liking, commenting. Help us out. We appreciate you. Those on YouTube, those on TikTok. So this is how we live in alignment, and we're elevating ourselves in truth. This is how we live in harmony with the universe and everyone in our community. Because we don't sell out our community. How many people call themselves black leaders, but all they are sellouts? They sell out their family and their community and the people that they swore that they would serve and protect. Just like when everybody was saying, okay, we're going to boycott Target. But you had some people, which I will not name, that came on and said, well, if you're going to shop in Target still, now knowing everybody's saying boycott, you're going to looking about your interests. Well, if you go in there, just buy the black-owned products and leave the rest. Knowing the majority said, let's boycott. See what I'm saying? Sellouts. Only thinking about themselves and not the collective and how it impacts others. Beloved, don't be a sellout. Don't be like Judas. Judas is not just a character in the Bible, in the biblical narrative. Judas is living amongst us today. Sellouts that will roll over and look the other way for 30 pieces of silver, $4,000 for a couple of meals. They will allow atrocities to happen in their neighborhoods. Why? Because they're not concerned about anybody else but them. All right. Number 4, the fourth divine principle in the 42 laws of Ma'at. Let's deal with it. Number 4. I have not slain men or women. I have not slain men or women. This is talking about valuing life. How do we value life? How do we value our lives and to value the lives of others? So this is the thing. If we knew how to value life properly, we would know about self-love. We would not mistreat our own self. And if we knew how to value life properly, we lived in that law, according to divine principles about the value of life, we would not mistreat one another. Why? Because we know that we are each other. You are me, I am you. We are one. That's why you have so many what they call black on black crimes and atrocities. Why? Because people do not know the value of life. You killing each other. You talking about each other, bringing each other down, knowing that my fellow person, brother, my community member is not my problem. They're not the enemy. See, we are confused about who the true enemy is. And we think that sister down the street is your enemy. You think your next door neighbor is your enemy. You think the sister that eyeing your man is the enemy, honey. Please, you can get another one. That's nothing to make an enemy. Especially when you know who you are, what you possess, what you carry, what you're worth. You don't bother yourself with these minuscule things, these petty little things. You don't make an enemy out of who should be an ally when you know how to value life. So number 4, I have not slain men or women. This is about valuing life, not just physically, but emotionally. So think about it. Have you killed someone's spirit with your words? You know, sometimes we know how to say some hurtful things, cut people down. Honey, when we feel somebody, honey, they done got too high, honey, we're coming. Use that sharp tongue of ours to cut them down a peg or two. Because we think they done got too big for their britches. We think they're deserving of it. So we're going to kill someone's spirit with our words. Or like we say in certain community, we're going to read them, honey. We're going to read them. We're going to tell them about themselves. But at the end of it, is it worth it? Was it worth you killing someone's spirit? Was it worth you reading them? What good did reading them do? What good of telling them off and telling them like a TI is? What good did it do at the end of the day? You did not bring change. You did not help the situation. If anything, you just made matters worse and it's imploding. That's right, to satisfy our flesh. That's why we do things. To satisfy our desire to feel that we are right. That desire, that sense of desire within us that feels that I'm not going to let nobody cross me. Not knowing that in order to build community, to build bridges, sometimes you have to take the L. And sometimes you have to take the L to bring about peace, to be a bridge. We have to learn to be selective, learn how to pick our battles. That's one thing I've learned through life. You have to learn how to pick your battle. When you want to build a strong relationships, whether in the community, in your marriage, in your friendships, on your relationships with your coworkers and your job, you have to learn sometimes you have to take the L in order to make things go the way it should go. You can't be ready to jump on and down somebody's throat every time you got a problem, every time you will never effect change and bring about the change you desire to see if you keep down this road of self-destruction? Have you emotionally caused harm to others? See, I have not slain men or women. It's just not talking about physical, emotional. Have you caused emotional trauma to other people? Have you caused emotional trauma? Have you scarred someone emotionally? Have you used the words to tear down instead of build up? Have you used your connects and powers to tarnish someone's name and reputation, knowing they weren't deserving of that, but because of your pride, because of your arrogance, because of your need to be right, you assassinated someone's character? Think about it. These are the things that keep us out of alignment. They keep us out of harmony with the universe and with each other. So let me give you this affirmation for this fourth principle. I want you to repeat after me and let it sink into your consciousness and in your heart and your soul. Say, I speak life. I speak life. I speak life. I protect the sacredness of all beings. I protect the sacredness of all beings. I protect the sacredness of all beings. Come on, let's say that again. I speak life. I speak life. I protect the sacredness of all beings. Amen and Ashe. So remember, from this day forward, you're going to protect, you're going to speak life over people and into people. You're not going to speak negativity in no one's life. You're going to speak positivity. You're going to speak life, joy, happiness, abundance into people's life. And you're going to protect the sacredness of all beings. You're going to handle people like they are divine. You're going to treat people as if they are God in flesh. Because you can't say you love the Creator, the Most High, the infinite source, and you cannot love those you see every day because they are the physical manifestation of the Creator. How you gonna love the Creator and can't love the creation? Because we're all co-creators with the divine source. So how can you not love each other? Something's wrong with that. So I speak life and I protect the sacredness of all beings. This is your duty. This is your calling. All right, let's go to number 5. The fifth in the lineup of the 42 laws of Ma'at. Number 5. I have not stolen food. I have not stolen food. See, in Kemet and in our indigenous African cultures, food was sacred, a blessing from the earth and from the divine source, from the gods. Food was sacred, a blessing from the earth, the divine Mother Earth, and the gods, the goddesses. So don't steal food. Ask. If you need something, Ask for it. Somebody will be willing to give it to you. But don't steal. If you need something to eat, ask for it. If you need food, ask for it. If you need help, ask for it. Set your pride aside. That's the reason why many of us don't get what we need. We are not in the position where we should be. It's because of our useless pride, our ego that we have not put in check. That's why many of us fail to get where we need to be, because we're trying to do everything on our own, because we don't want to give nobody else the credit. But honey, the truth of the matter is nobody gets anywhere on their own. You know, when white folks start to tell black people that they built whatever they did on their own and they pulled their stuff up in the bootstrap and we can do the same, you know, all cockamamie bull. Because ain't nobody made it on their own. Nobody made it in life on their own. Somebody, some way down the line, believed in them, supported them, gave them a helping hand, helped them out. So I want you to affirm this with me. I am provided for. I'm going to say that I am provided for. And I honor the source of my substance. I am provided for, and I honor the source of my substance. Amen and Ashe. So live like that. Greetings, Brother Michael. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today, dear. Know that and live from that place that I am provided for, and live in a posture of honor. And you honor the source of your substance. You ever heard our elders used to say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Meaning, don't be needing somebody but talking trash at the same time. Don't be flapping your gums and talking all kind of nonsense and then you need somebody. Be careful. Honor those who have given to you and have sacrificed for you. Give them honor and respect that's due to them. Those that paid the way for you, that helped you out. Show them honor and respect. All right, number 6. The 6th intercession of the laws, the 42 laws of Ma'at. Number 6, I have not swindled offerings. I have not swindled offerings. I have not swindled offerings. What does that mean? It speaks to taking from the sacred. It's about manipulating spiritual systems for personal gain. When you're trying to spiritually do things to harm others that meant you no ill. You trying to work against somebody who don't mean no harm to you, who's innocent. Don't you know it's going to backfire? Think about it. When you try to do things to harm those who had no ill intentions to you, when you try to spiritually manipulate spiritual systems for your own personal gain, that you're going to meet the fate that you're putting out for others? Even people that's call themselves seers, prophets, readers, giving out prophecy or giving the readings, but they're using their spiritual gifts, spiritual systems for their own personal gain. Don't you know that that's going to backfire? You're swindling offerings, the offerings of yourself that you've been gifted with, that you're supposed to offer to the world. You are manipulating it for your own personal gain. We should live with integrity when it comes down to our divine gifts, our purpose, our assignment in life. We should live in integrity. So let me give you this affirmation to help you walk this out every day. Repeat after me. I give to the divine with purity of heart. I give to the divine with purity of heart. I give to the divine with purity of heart. They used to sing a song in the church growing up, let it be real. Let it be real. Everything you do for the Lord, for God, for the Master, let it be real. What does that mean? When you do anything, when you give a helping hand, when you support people, when you do good, make sure it's coming from a pure place. A lot of times we do good and do what's right, but it didn't come from a pure place. We didn't do it with good intentions. Call ourselves giving people a compliment, but really you were trying to be shady. It wasn't done with a pure heart. Sometimes we bless people with either money, food, clothes, whatever. But are you doing it to shift their perceptives of you? Or are you giving it out of a pure heart because you just wanted to give? You wanted to help them out. You wanted to support them. Think about it. That our motives and when we do anything should be pure and not have ulterior motives to harm someone. So you got to be careful of people bearing gifts, because oftentimes it's to try to persuade you, your perspective, your viewpoint, your understanding, to blind you from what's truly going on. All right, law number 7 in the 42 laws of Ma'at. We go into now law number 7. I have not stolen from God or goddesses. I have not stolen from God or the goddesses. What does that mean? Have you misused your divine gifts? Think about it. Have you misused your divine gifts, whatever your divine gift is? Not talents. I mean, not talking about talents. Your divine gift. If you've been given a gift to heal people, if you're a healer, a light worker, if you've been given the gifts of learning how to work with natural medicine, what people call roots, but it's natural medicine. You know how to go out and pick certain leaves and certain roots, bark roots, and different things. You know how to mix certain leaves and different flowers or different things to bring about a natural remedy for a healing of the body. Do you have the gift of foresight to see the future or to see the past or even the present? Have you been given the gifts of what they call help, to help people, of hospitality? Whatever your divine gift is, have you misused your divine gifts? Think about it. Or have you suppressed your purpose? Because sometimes we know we got certain divine gifts, but we don't want what comes with it, so we suppress our purpose. We try to run from our gift and calling. We try to act like it's not there. We try to pretend like we don't have that gift. We try to run away because you know what? Some of these divine gifts that we were born with comes with a lot of other stuff that, if we be honest, sometimes we really don't want to be bothered with. However, your life is a life, an offering to not only yourself, but to your community, to the world. So don't misuse your gifts. Don't suppress your purpose. No matter what, if you're operating in your divine gift, whatever ruckus is going to cause, whatever backlash you're going to have to face, whatever it is, don't be afraid to walk in your divine calling, in your gift. Don't be afraid to walk in your purpose. Do not suppress your gift. Do not suppress your purpose. Walk in it. Accept it. Because somebody somewhere in the world is needing your gift that you have. Somebody somewhere in the world is waiting for you to say yes to who you truly, authentically are. And step out in boldness and be the man, the woman, the individual that you've been called to be. Somebody's waiting for you to realize that the pain that your divine calling and gift may cause is nothing compared to the sweet, precious victory. And for the lives of those that you will help, the relationships you will be able to mend, the lives you will be able to save, it's not worthy to compare. I'm always reminded of that verse of the sacred text in the Greek scriptures, commonly called the New Testament, where it said, the suffering of this present time is not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed. Meaning, no matter what you're facing right now, it's not compared to the great things that lies ahead for you if you're persistent and don't give up. If you keep going and don't throw in the towel, there are great things in store for you. Great things happen to those who don't give up. Great things happen to those that persist. Great things happen to those who persevere. Why? Because winners don't quit. A winner never quits. And a quitter will never win. So stop starting and stopping and stopping and starting and starting and stopping. Get on the road of consistency and keep moving. Even sometimes when it feels hard, do like the old folks say, mark time. Just stand in place, march in place, until you get enough strength to keep moving. But don't go backwards. Do not go backwards. Stay focused on the prize. So let us affirm this together. Repeat after me. I give my gifts back to the source. I give my gifts back to the source. I give my gifts back to the source. I served with devotion. I give my gifts back to the source. I serve with devotion. Amen and Ashe. See, you've been given a divine gift. Whatever that is, you have to discover that for yourself. But once you have discovered that divine gift, you give it back to the source. Meaning you serve with devotion. You don't misuse your divine gifts. You don't suppress your purpose. You serve humanity. Like the hymn they used to sing, a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never dying soul to save and fit for the sky. To serve this present age. Now that's the part I want to bring out. To serve this present age. That's what everybody who has a divine calling. We're not talking about religious. No. You have a spiritual, divine calling and gift. And you are supposed to serve this present age. The age that you're in, the time you're in, the era you're in. You are supposed to serve that present age. Your calling to fulfill. And made all my powers engage to do my master's will, the divine's will. And that should be our cry, our plea. That I want to serve humanity. That I want to do all I can to uplift humanity. To bring about peace and harmony, not chaos and confusion, not division, not strife. So many people have so many good things they could do with their life to help serve the common good of all. But instead, they're wasting away because they refuse to accept and acknowledge the power of their calling, the power of their purpose. So don't let that be you. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary. Please remember to like, comment, and share. Tap the screen, press those hearts, tap us up. And we want you to please share the live. Share this live broadcast, this live session. Share it to a neighbor, share it to a friend. Repost, reshare, and comment in the comment section. Leave us a good comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're enjoying these spiritual conscious awakening teachings. And also, if you'd like to give to our platform to support this sacred work, you can do so. It's Cash App, $, capital BSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Again, that's Cash App, $, capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Help us continue to further our reach and our mission of spreading this truth of awakening and expanded consciousness. So let's move to number 8, the 8th law of the 42 laws of Ma'at. Number 8, I have not told lies. Wow, how many people can say that? How many people can affirm that? I have not told lies. I have not told lies. I have not told lies. Now, this law here, this affirmation, this divine declaration, because it's not talking about just like white lies, quote unquote, that people say, a lie is a lie, but people say, oh, white lie, I just told a little white lie. But it's not just white lies. But falsehood that fracture relationships. That's what destroys and crumbles relationships. Falsehoods. It fractures relationships and it distorts truth. So we have to learn to speak truthfully, to be truthful with ourselves, and to be truthful with others. A lot of people end up making poor decisions because their friends, who's supposed to be their friends, supposed to look out for them, support them, are not willing to tell them the truth. So inadvertently, they go out and make a public disgrace of themselves. They make poor decisions that land them in compromising positions, all because somebody would not do their job in being honest, speaking truthfully. When you try to manipulate people that you're supposed to be, you love, but you're lying to them just to get what you can out of them. Not thinking that karma is a real thing. And you know that thing they say about karma is true. They say she's a female dog, honey. Let me tell you, she got the teeth of one. Karma has the teeth of one, honey. In the biblical narrative, it says you reap what you sow. Same thing with karma. It's the same principle. What you put out into the universe, it will return to you. It's going to come back. Whatever you do to people, you will reap it. And I ain't talking about reaping it when you get to the other side of the veil. I'm talking about here and now. You will reap. Rather good or bad. Saying that you want to build a strong, long-lasting relationship, you have to be honest and truthful. Think about how many people that go into a marriage with lies. Because eventually the truth will come out. Then everybody's going to be looking at you. That's why it's important to live with integrity, to walk upright, to be honest in our dealings. Because falsehoods fracture your relationship. Lies, falsehood is the cracks in the walls of the house and the foundation that eventually you're going to have to replace the whole thing. Why? Because now the foundation is no good and the house is in the threat of being destroyed. So when you want to build anything lasting, make sure you're willing to face the truth, that you're willing to be honest. As one biblical narrative says in the text, the sacred text of the Bible, St. John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Not just any truth, the unadulterated truth. The truth that you understand, the truth that you live by, the truth that you affirm every day. That is what makes you free, and free indeed. You don't have no reason to hide, to beat round corners. Why? Because you live, walk, and talk authentically, you in truth. So let's affirm this together. I walk in truth. Come on, say that. I walk in truth. My words reflect the light within. Come on, affirm that with me. I walk in truth. I live in truth. And my words reflect the light within. Amen and Ashe. Think about this. Do your words reflect the light in you? Or do we reflect darkness? You can always tell where somebody are, where they are in their spiritual journey. Just let them open their mouth and listen. Let them talk. Let them talk and you listen. And you'll find out all you need to know. Because you don't have to force people to tell the truth, honey. Just let them talk and they'll tell on their own self. I learned that over the years. Just be quiet. You don't have to poach people for the truth. Just let them talk and listen. Learn to be a good listener. That's everybody. Everybody on this live, everybody that's watching the replay, learn to be a good listener. Because when we learn to listen, we will find out the mysteries of life. We will find out the truth of all things when we learn to listen. We can build better bridges in our communities, in our families, in our homes, in the world when we learn to listen. Stop trying to get your point across all the time and you just want to talk because you want to be right. You just want to be heard. Learn to listen. You got 2 ears, 2 eyes, but 1 mouth. That's to see closely everything. Ears to hear twice as much as you talk. And my grandfather used to quote that verse, be swifter to hear than to speak. Because when you are truly walking and a student of life, you know that the wise are prudent and they learn to listen and only speak when it's necessary. That bit of wisdom will help any and every one of us walk in alignment because we are learning how to govern ourselves. Number 9, let's look at the 9th law of the 42 laws of Ma'at. Number 9, if you just joined us, that's what we're doing today. We're going deeper into the laws of Ma'at, which represent balance, it represents truth, reciprocity, it represents mercy, justice, and that's living in alignment. That's what we're talking about today. So number 9 in this succession of laws, affirmation, 42 laws of Ma'at, also known as the 42 negative confessions, also known as the 42 declarations of innocence. So as I read these and we talk about them and dissect and think about this, can you declare these things? Can you affirm these things for yourself? Because if you can, that means you're living in alignment. You're walking in Ma'at. You're walking in divine justice, mercy, harmony, reciprocity, alignment. But if you can't affirm these things, you need to go back to the drawing board and come back into alignment with yourself, with your community, with the divine, the universe. All right, number 9, I have not carried away food. I have not carried away food. Now, earlier there was a law, which was number 5, I have not stolen food. Now, number 9 says, I have not carried away food. Now, this means something deeper than just the surface on literal food. This is a deeper way of saying, I do not hoard or take what is meant to be shared. Oh my, think about that. See, these are teachings of ethical living. Talk about elegance and manners. This is it here. This is prime, top of the line. Greetings, Tom 3 Clay. I hope you're doing well. Mushy, thank you for joining the line. Thank you for the like. Everyone, thank you for being here. Please, as you come in the room, tap the screen, press those hearts, comment, and share to help us to reset the algorithm, especially on TikTok, because when we get on, when we start teaching, they throw a restriction in, and the live is not able to be recommended on the FYP when you get a restriction. So please help us reset the algorithm and push it out. Thank you so very much. We love you all for your help and support. So I have not carried away food. This is a deeper way of saying I do not hoard or take what is meant to be shared. Think about how many people, how tacky and disgraceful it is when they go out to eat, or when you invite them to a gathering. The food is so good, they want to take what they call, quote unquote, a doggy bag. They want to take out trays to carry home. This food was provided that you can eat as much as you want here, not for you to cart away and go home with it. Unless the host wants to get rid of food and begs and asks you to take it. Do you hoard or take things? That's Michael, I know it's funny. But they come to the family, ain't brought nothing, they ain't brought a pack of soda. Not that we should be drinking that anyway. Well, I can't drink it no how, because I just still recovering from surgery, so I can't. Honey, I love a good cherry Pepsi, honey. Especially this new kind they got out. It's a cherry cream Pepsi, honey. Ooh. When I went to Florida, I turned all the saints on to drinking. But I'm not able to drink it right now because I'm recovering. It's not good for your health anyway. However, we do a lot of stuff that's not good for us. But when we're on this spiritual journey, we learn that not only we need to take care of our spirit, but even our human body, our house that holds the soul and spirit. We have to take care of it. Because many of us leave off the scene too early because we've not taken care of what we've been given. So people come to the family cookout, the reunion, the get-together, the gatherings, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. Didn't bring a pack of soda, didn't bring a pie, didn't do nothing. That's rule number 101 in elegance, in class, being tactful. You don't go to no invitation, no gathering, and you don't bring something. Point blank, period. Unless you just, don't have it, whatnot, then the host will understand, or whatever the case. But you should always bring something. If you don't know how to cook, that's still fine. Go and get a pie from the store. Go get something. Bottle of wine, or if they don't do that, go get a pack of soda, some chip and dip, something to add to what has already been given. Don't show up empty-handed. That's a sign that you don't have proper manners, etiquette, no class. And then don't go trying to cart off, didn't bring nothing, but then you trying to cart off half the food that's there. Not thinking about whether somebody else going to want seconds, somebody else, always thinking about ourselves. So learn not to hoard or take what's meant to be shared. You want everything for yourself. Just like people that work at I've seen this as a child growing up. How churches would have food banks. And don't you know, the people that at the church that do the serving, they would pick all the good stuff out amongst themselves and share it, and then give the rest that wasn't so desirable to the public. What a disgrace. They're not living ethically because it was meant for people who are in need. And here you are, dividing all the good stuff amongst yourself. This is what this law means. I have not carried away food, meaning I don't hoard or take what's meant to be shared. I don't just think of myself. I'm not self-centered. I'm not vain. We look out for those that are what we call less fortunate. Think about it. How many people's houses or people are hoarders? They got so much stuff they don't need, they don't use, ain't never gonna use, but they want to keep it. Talk about maybe I'll get down in this size again, honey. You know you're not getting back down to that size. You're not doing nothing to help you on the path of losing enough weight to get back in that size. Give it away. By the time you get in that size, honey, you're gonna need a whole new wardrobe. Give it away to somebody who can fit it, who can cherish it and use it. See, we're talking about ethical living, practical ethical living that help us live in harmony with our true self, with our community, and with the universe. So affirm with me. Say this, repeat after me. I live in abundance and generosity. Come on, say that with me. I live in abundance and generosity. I live in abundance and generosity. So when you live, amen and ashe. So when you live in abundance and generosity, you don't have to be a hoarder or take what's meant to be shared. Why? Because you live in abundance. Everything you need is supplied. Everything you want and desire it comes to you. Everything, whenever you need it, it is provided for you. So you can be generous. Don't be stingy. You can give. I remember as a child, I was a teenager at this point in my life. I was a teenager, and it was this particular church down the street from my home because I used to love to go hear different speakers and prophets and different things. I love to go, instead of just sitting at home and doing stuff. So I was working as a teenager. I used to work at a seafood dock. And we'd bring the seafood from the dock, whether it was the barrels of crab and sacks of oysters and shrimp and different things that me and my father, we'd empty all the oysters out on the concrete after we brought them up, and we'd take the power hose and cleanse them. That's what is done to cleanse the oysters and stuff. Cleanse them, get all the dirt off them, clean them up. Then we put it on the scale, measure each however many pounds, then we put it in the sack and prepare it to be sold rather. Then, we'd get the shrimp and, do what we need to do, prepare them and the crabs, the bushels, and set them up together and what needs to be done, and the fish, scale them and whatever have you. So I would do that. So I would get a cut and I would get paid. My father would pay me to help him. And we do that. Then my father had a landscape business and I would work with them doing that. And so I had to get money. So I would go to this particular church, and when they would be running revivals, they would have like 30-day revivals. 90 days, different things, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. So I'd go. And there was a certain speaker, I like to hear. I never heard. It was out of town. I'd go. And they'd be raising money, honey. It's a little church pack, little small church pack. They trying to raise money. Then after many people they can't just give what they ask for, then they say, well, because they ask for a certain amount. Well, if you got this amount and somebody else that got the same half, y'all get together so y'all can make it up. They'd be doing all this to raise this money. But I'd be so happy and proud. I'd just go up and give what they asked for, honey. Then I'd give some more, honey. And they'd always be happy that I helped them meet their goal. Because it costs to bring preachers from out of town into town. It costs the hotel, the flying or driving in arrangements, then hosting them while they're here, feeding them, all of that stuff. So I would just give, I would just do that. But guess what? When I look back over my life, anytime I was a freely giver, generous, that's the time I had the most. Because the more I gave, not just into a church, and that's what I was doing back at that time when I would visit, but even to people that would ask or that would be in need that I would see, that I would just give. I would just support people in different causes. And that was a time when anytime in my life I did that, I was blessed the most. I never wanted for anything. Why? Because I learned the law of reciprocity. I learned the law of the universe of compensation. That whatever I give out, I receive. The universe pays me back for whatever I put out, whatever I do, whether good or bad. So if you want people to be loving and forgiving to you, learn to be loving and forgiving to other people. If you want people to show you mercy, if you want people to show you kindness, if you want people to be benevolent to you, if you want people to work with you, you have to be willing to do that to other people. Because when you do that to other people, you attract that to yourself. So don't wait for it to happen to you. You start doing it first. And you will attract it. So you can live in abundance. And because you live from a place of abundance, you can be generous. Don't be like Mr. Scrooge. Don't be a person that like to take, and never give. Our elders used to have a saying, closed mouth don't get fed. And then when you hold your hand like this all the time, trying to hold everything, can all you get and get all you can, you can't get nothing in. Because it's supposed to go like this. Give and receive, give and receive, give and receive. Even your relationships with people, it should be reciprocity. It should be an exchange, give and receive. It should be a divine exchange, not one-sided. Love is not one-sided. True relationships aren't one-sided. It's a give and take. And every time you got a one-sided thing, they're going to review all your relationships, all of your connections, everything you into. And if it's one-sided, maybe you need to rethink things and redirect where your energy is going, your time is going, your finances, your money, everything is going if it's one-sided. Because that's not the way it should be. It should be a divine exchange between each other. All right, let's go to number 10. In this succession of laws of the divine laws, the 42 laws of Ma'at, 42 negative confession, and 42 declarations of innocence. Number 10, I have not cursed. I have not cursed. I have not cursed. Now, this ain't talking about profanity. Not just profanity. But I have not cursed is talking about casting energetic harm with your words. Do you say meanful and hurtful things with the intent to destroy and to harm? Example, when you gossip about people. Example, when you slander people's name. Example, when you hex people, the hex of the tongue. That's what I have not cursed means. You are affirming that I have not casted energetic harm with my words on anyone. I have not gossiped about anyone. Woo! How many people can say that? I have not gossiped about anyone. Because people love to gossip. They love to talk about people and what they're doing and what they're going through or what's happening with them or this, that, and the third. I had my first marriage, I had a sister-in-law who loved to gossip. Honey, she loved to talk about people's business and all that. But when people talk about her, honey, and gossip about her, she couldn't take it. And this is what I told her. I said, every time you look, you're going to church, you're going to somebody's church, you're going to this revival, this, that, and third. You're supposed to be an evangelist and a preacher. Yet you don't take care of your home. You're running out church and you ain't take care of your home. Maybe if you mind your business, stop gossiping about everybody else and took care of your home, your house, your husband wouldn't be cheating on you. Perhaps, just maybe. So I said, well, now, Chief, you should sit and say that, oh, honey, no, she needs to know. If you gossip about everybody, be sure that somebody's going to gossip about you because that's what you're attracting. You're putting that out in the universe. It's going to come back. So are you able to affirm and say, I have not gossiped about people? Oh, yeah, honey. They can't take it when it come back to them. Honey, no. But it's going to come back. That's the thing. Want it or not, ready or not, here it comes. I always want to gossip about, child, somebody, they got their house repossessed, or they filed for bankruptcy, or honey, they got repossessed and whatnot. Acting like you ain't never had to go through a repossession before. Acting like you ain't never been in a financial hardship before. All these pompous attitudes. Acting like we're holier than thou, better than other people. That's why some people don't want to be around us. They don't want to be associated with us because the energy that we emanate off of us, that we give out. Do we slander people? Say evil things, untrue things about people to assassinate their character just because you want to look good? Throwing shade on people's name just because you want to look good. You want to be considered for the position, not somebody else. You want to be liked of all, not the other person, because you deserve it. Honey, if you deserve it, it will happen for you. You do not have to step on people's neck and throw people down and cast people down and say all kind of things to make yourself look good, because all it does is make you look bad. When you a tattletale, when you on the job, always run into the boss and telling on people, guess what? The boss, they're going to look into the information you give to them, but they watching out for you. Because guess what? They not trust you because you talk too much. Do we know how to close our mouth and shut up? Stop talking so much. See, I'm talking about ethical living here. Talk about we want to elevate our consciousness. We want to evolve. Learn how to keep your mouth closed. Everything don't need a response. Everything don't need a response. And it's not for you to repeat everything you hear. Thank you for the like. Greetings, choke a bead. Choke a bead. Greetings, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Everything don't deserve a response. You don't got to comment on everything you hear, and don't repeat everything you hear. Half the time you're repeating just a bunch of lies and don't know it because you believe everything you hear. That's why I tell people, I'm like the biblical verse that say, I testify of those things I have seen and witnessed, not just heard from a second source. I always used to say, and I do say one of my favorite sayings to people when they're talking about gossip and slander, secondhand information ain't no good. If you weren't there to see it for yourself, hear it from as the old folks say, the horse's mouth, your secondhand information is questionable. Because what is the motives of the person that told you that? What was their motive for telling you? When people come to tell me, oh, I just want you to know for you hear from somebody else. Child, I heard such and such, it was said about you. Well, who told you? Where you heard it from? Why did they come and tell you and not me? Why did they feel comfortable talking to you knowing that they know me and you supposed to be close? See, that's the question. See, we ask the wrong questions sometimes. We jump it off ready. First of all, if somebody have your best interest in heart, they're not even gonna come to you and tell you about. Or if my best friend, if somebody come talking to me about my best friend. First of all, I'm not going back to my best friend telling them, oh, so and so came talking to me about them, because the first question should be asked, well, what did you say about it? What did you tell them? Because why did they feel comfortable coming and talking to you knowing that we supposed to be close? The only reason why somebody come and talk to you about your best friend or whatever, because they want you to carry it back. See, don't be used as a pawn in people's game. See, I'm talking practical wisdom here to help you live a full, ethical life, so you don't get messed up in crosswise of people mess. Don't be poking your nose in things that ain't got nothing to do with you, that get you caught up. Don't let anybody use you as a pawn in their scheme and their game. Use your brain, your consciousness, your intelligence. Do like my blessed mother used to say, of blessed memory, use your head for more than a hat rack. Now, I know this beautiful gelly. You know, everybody be, ooh, I love that. It's called a gelly. You know, Yoruba, especially other African countries, but Yoruba. So, my head, my brain is more than just for this beautiful gelly to sit on top. It's to use my wisdom to know when to hold and when to fold. Know how not to slander people with my words. Because the only thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to slander me. And you don't want that. Only put out what you want. Now, if you don't mind being gossiped about, go ahead and gossip about people. If you don't mind being slandered, go ahead and be a slanderer. If you don't mind somebody hexing you with their tongue, go ahead and hex people with your tongue. But if you don't want this as a return to the sender, don't do it. So I have not cursed. This law is not just talking about profanity. Remember, it's talking about casting energetic harm with your words. When you tell people you're not going to amount to anything, and when you say that when you're angry and you upset and you ain't going to amount to anything, when you say that you are casting energetic harm with your words to that person, because you're casting a spell with your word, because you intend for that person to be cursed, to not be successful. Honey, but I tell people, like my late pastor, the blessed Reverend Angus, say, honey, I can't lose, and you can't lose with the stuff I use. You can't lose with the stuff I use. And you can't curse me because I've been blessed by the best. I am divinely protected and guided. So you can't curse me. I don't care what you say. You going to curse yourself. You can curse me. You can curse yourself, honey. That's what you're going to land up with, a curse on your own self. So you have to know when you walk ethically and integrity, you don't have to worry about nobody cursing you, honey, because you cannot be cursed. You cannot curse what the divine have blessed. You can't do it. So affirm this with me. My tongue is a wand. Come on, say that with me. My tongue is a wand. I speak blessings only. Come on, say that, affirm that with me. My tongue is a wand. I speak blessings only. I don't seek to curse nobody. I don't seek to do harm to anybody. I don't seek to destroy anybody's character. My tongue is a wand. I walk and I talk and I understand that my tongue has power. The power of life and death is in my tongue. My tongue and the words that come out my mouth can create my reality and the reality of those around me. So I'm careful of how I use my mouth, how I use my words. My tongue is a wand, and because I know that I speak blessings only. I speak blessings on those who try to curse me. I speak blessings. I'm not going to try to fight fire with fire. I'm going to speak blessings. Why? Because I know I can overcome evil with the good. I'm not going to try to overcome evil with evil. Because all we're going to do is just reap more evil. I'm trying to bring about living in harmony with myself, with my community, and with the universe. So I want you to take a moment, just breathe that in. Just breathe that in. And if you've been here for a little while, let me know which one of these first 10 laws of the 42 laws of Ma'at, 42 negative confession, or the 42 declarations of innocence, which one of these things hit your spirit the most? And I'm going to run over them. The first 10 we've covered: I have not committed sin against myself and against my community or my creator in the universe. Hey, my nephew, best nephew in the whole wide world. Say, well, that's Auntie Noah. Greetings, JJ. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So I have not committed sin against myself, my community, or the universe. That's number one. I have not committed robbery with violence, meaning I don't move through life. I move through life in integrity, not domination. Greetings, Yeshua Ali. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate y'all. I move with integrity, not domination. I have not stolen, meaning I didn't steal nobody's time. I didn't steal nobody's energy. I didn't steal nobody's ideas. I didn't steal nobody's joy. People steal people's ideas and claim it as their own and don't give credit. How you gonna steal somebody's idea and pass it off as your own? Honey, in today's world, honey, you think there's not a trail record? Like people can't read the timestamp and know that you stole somebody's intellectual work. I've had the people do that. I did a write-up, almost like a little blog on a topic. And I posted it on Facebook. Don't you know, as y'all come in, please like and share, because the algorithm on TikTok, they put a restriction on the live when we get started every time. Because when we start talking about teachings like this, ancestors, spiritual liberation, they don't like it. So they put a restriction so they don't push it out and put it on the FYP. So please help us push it out. Help us reset the algorithm for us. We appreciate you. So I posted it on Facebook. This was several months ago, maybe almost a year now. Don't you know another female bishop who had just accepted the friend request? Now, I let us sit in my friend request box for a long time. I let people, honey, I let you sit for a while. See what you're about. Check your friend list. All that. See if we compatible before I accept you on my page on Facebook. So I finally said, well, let me just give her a chance. And I accepted her on Facebook. Let me tell you what happened. She read that, did not like it, did not comment, nothing. Don't you know she copied and pasted my whole thing and put her name there? Changed something in the intro, put her name and put her inside her name as if she wrote it. Everything else I wrote is intact. Girl, how dare you steal my intellectual property? And so you know what I did? I politely went out under her post, and I said, I'm so glad I was able to inspire you with my post. Girl, don't you know she deleted? She deleted my comment, and I politely blocked her. Child, don't you know? Maybe a month or so later, the girl ended up dead. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Next thing, somebody was sending me a screenshot saying the girl had died out of the blue. I said, what? So when you say I have not stolen, when you affirm this, meaning you didn't steal nobody's time, energy, you didn't waste people's energy and eat people's time, you didn't steal their ideas, their intellectual properties, or their joy. Number 4, I have not slain men or women. Not just physically, but emotionally. I didn't kill somebody's spirit with my words. Number 5, I have not stolen. I have not stolen food, because food is sacred in African spirituality and cultures. It's a blessing from the earth and from the gods. I don't steal. I don't hoard. I don't have to steal food. I don't have to steal anything. Why? Because I'm provided for. Number 6, I have not swindled offerings, meaning I didn't take what was sacred. I didn't take from what was sacred. I didn't try to manipulate spiritual systems for personal gain. Number 7, I have not stolen from God or the goddesses, meaning I didn't misuse my divine gift. I didn't suppress my purpose. Number 8, I have not told lies. Not just white lies, but falsehoods. Because falsehood fractures relationships. It is the fracture. It is what fractures relationships and distorts truth. Lies. Number 9, I have not carried away food, meaning I don't hoard or take what is meant to be shared. I learned how to be generous. I learned how to share, not just hoard for myself, worrying about me, my 4, and no more. And number 10, I have not cursed. Not just profanity, honey. No. But I didn't cast energetic harm. I'm not casting energetic harm with my words. I'm not slandering people's name. I'm not gossiping people, slandering their character, gossiping about their life or whatever. And I'm not hexing people with my tongue. You should be able to make that affirmation every day. When you go to bed, you look at the 42 laws of Ma'at and think about it. Reminisce. And if you can affirm these things to be true and declare your innocence, then you know you have lived in alignment that day. That you've walked and lived within Ma'at, in divine justice, in divine truth, balance, reciprocity. That's what it's all about. These laws are ancient laws that predate the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, that predate the Bhagavad Gita. I may be pronouncing it wrong. The Hindu scriptures. It predates everything. Because these ancient laws were the laws that ran our society, that kept us as a people of unity, a people of balance. And if we want to return to a balanced life, the divine mother and the divine father, divine feminine, divine masculine, and balance, causing justice, harmony, truth, we have to be willing to return to these declarations of innocence, these 42 laws of Ma'at. Are you willing to let go of the program that you've been programmed with so that your life can shift in the right direction for your liberation? Think about it. That's what we all should be doing. Trying to walk and live a life of power, of integrity, of love, of harmony, of justice. Is that our goal? Are we trying to make this world a better place for everyone? Are we standing on the square in the truth that love is of God and love is for everyone? Not just who we deem is lovable or unlovable. Not just for our four and no more. Not just for our cliques, our groups, our clans, our tribes. But love is of the divine and love is for everyone. That truth reigns over doctrine and dogma and indoctrination. This is the truth that we should be able to affirm every single day. So think about it. Is this our heart's cry? Is this our purpose? Is this what we live by? Think about, what moral code do you live by? Think about it. What moral code do you live by? What is your moral compass? How far are you willing to go to make things happen? Are you willing to step over people? To undermine people? Are you willing to get where you're trying to go the right way? Or are you trying to do all these kind of shortcuts? Shortcuts only last for so long, beloved. Are you ready to put in the work that it takes to reach the top of your field? To reach your highest potential, your highest ideals? This is what we should be focusing on. Living the life we were truly meant to live. Living on purpose. Always know that you've been created to do powerful things. You've been created in this world to accomplish a mission, to accomplish an assignment. You came into this world with a purpose. Never forget that. You came into this world with a purpose. And as I often say, remember that you are powerful. You are creative. You are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. You are God in flesh having a human experience. Never let anyone, any ideology, any philosophy, any theology, any indoctrination, doctrine, or dogma tell you differently. Because you're great. Greatness is on the inside of you. You were born to be great, and you're destined to do great things in the earth realm. Why? Because you are earthly manifestation of the infinite source, of the creator of the universe, and you are a co-creator with the creator of the universe. So, if it is true that you are created in the image and the likeness of God, of the divine, of the creator, source, the Most High, that means you are a co-creator. You are a creator yourself. And so start creating the life you truly want. Stop speaking negativity and doubt. Stop speaking what you don't want and start speaking what you do want. Start affirming it in your life. Affirm the truth of who you are. Affirm the truth of what you want to see. Stop focusing on the negative and focus on the positive. Speak life into your situation. Speak life in your life and over your life. Speak life in your home. Today is the 1st of May. Are you speaking life? Today is the 1st of May. Have you blown your cinnamon? Have you cleaned your house, swept from the back to the front? Have you set your intentions for the month? Have you anointed your home and blessed it and what you see, what you want to take place in your home? Declare protection, peace, tranquility, joy in your home because you have the power to accomplish that. Now I want y'all to join me tomorrow, and we're going to be right back here again. We're going to be finishing teaching on, we'll continue rather, on the topic of the 42 laws of Ma'at, ancient divine laws that will transform your mind, spirit, and life. So we dealt with the first 10. Tomorrow we'll continue on, pick up on number 11, and we'll continue on. Because we want to live an ethical life. And so if this has been your first time, welcome. You've tuned into the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. I am yours truly, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael. I am the global spiritual leader, teacher, guide, high priest, chief high priestess, elder, and the founder here, the prophetic voice of this movement. We are here to show the light to those who have left the church, who've less organized religion, colonized belief systems, and are looking to expand their consciousness, to expand their understanding. And if that's you, we want to welcome you home. If you've been looking for a spiritual home, a virtual community that you can connect to and build relationships, a spiritual advisor, a spiritual teacher, a guide, a community where you can learn to experience your own divine gifts, how to grow in your spiritual journey, I want to welcome you home. If that's you and you want to join our spiritual community, we invite you to do so. Reach out to us. You can email us at Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael at gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on all social media. Please make sure you're following us on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. But even if you're on TikTok now, and you just came in, or you want to go back and re-listen to this again, you can go over to YouTube. On YouTube is we're filming there too as well, live there. And you can go and watch the replay and listen to it over and over again, because repetition helps reset your paradigm, your inner hardware. Repetition, reading and listening to the truth helps reset and rewire your brain from failure to success. So you can go over there and watch the replay. But if you want to reach out and become a part of a community member, full-fledged, you can reach out to us, inbox us on TikTok, or inbox us on Facebook or Instagram. Reach out to us, or you can email us and let us know, and we'll get you the information you need. Also, if you want to book a spiritual consultation, one-on-one coaching, or you need spiritual advisement, all of those things, you can book a session with us. You can reach out to us, let us know that's what you desire, and we can get you the right information you need so you can book a session with us. Always know that we love you all. The presence of God, the divine in me, loves the presence of God and the divine in you. I love each and every one of you, and I wish that you would have a great rest of your day. And again, join us tomorrow, Friday, and we should be on our normal time around 12. Sometimes I come on a little earlier, but normally by 12 I'm on. And so come back tomorrow so we can come back and continue this teaching of learning these ancient divine principles on how to elevate your life and to walk in harmony, divine alignment. Because I believe that's all what we truly want. We want to awaken the divine within and not be controlled by the systems of oppression. So if that's you, join me every day, Monday through Friday, and we pop up sometime on the weekend around 12 noon, so you can get into these lessons. And always remember to share, give us a follow, and repost, reshare all of our content, and help us, because we want to make the truth go viral, because people are waiting and yearning for the truth. And also, if you want to give to this platform, this sacred work, you can do so by $ through Cash App, $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Again, if you would like to give a financial contribution to support our work here and expand, help us expand, get equipment and different things we need, you can do so by Cash App, $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. This is my first initials, or my initials, VS and Y, and then my last name, and then the 2021. And so we thank you all for your support, all that you do to give, and keep rising, keep elevating, and keep expanding your consciousness. Do not become stagnant, because you were made to keep moving. And so I want you to keep moving. All right. Until tomorrow, peace be with you. Love you all.